chewing that shit like it's good in the motherfucker.
Oh, I'm trying
What
to
you having?
listen. I was trying to hurry up, man. Listen, I was rushing that cashews, but I'm gonna eat when I get up off of here because I was trying to make sure I was on here in a timely fashion and be professional. We told the people
Likewise.
7 p.m.
And we
Central
on.
Standard Time, and
We've
I
been
try to
doing good
come
with that.
Central Standard Time. We
We've been
have,
doing
I love it, and I'm very big on punctuality. I just told you I'm a planner.
good.
Big on punctuality, big on, if I say I'm gonna be on at 7, I'm gonna try to be on at 7. Definitely
Right.
don't want to lose viewers by being inconsistent and things of that nature. So I'm
Most
gonna go on
certainly.
ahead and starve. I'm gonna starve till around 8:30 for the people. But when 8:30 comes, I'm going to
7:30
find
then.
me something to eat. 7. Well, no, 8:30.
8:30.
Well,
Eight
no,
thirty.
8:30
8 o'clock.
ish. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Depending on how long we talk about this good old thing. So yeah, man. Sha'Carri Richardson. I
Richardson.
was really, really, I was really, really hyped for sis. The past couple of weeks, she had, set a couple of records and did a thing on the track. Track and field. That's my old sport. That was my mama's sport. My mama was a hurdler. I was a
Okay.
quarter miler. I ran the 200 and the 400. My mama ran the hurdles. My dad and her met on the track team at TSU. I was
Okay.
made from track, so I'm very
Well, yeah.
passionate about the sport. I do still try to stay up to date on all the runners and all the athletes in the sport. So, of all the sports in the Olympics, I always try to watch the track and field
Track and field.
trials
That's where your
and the
passion
race.
is.
That's where it is. Like I know that sport for sure. If I don't know no other sport, I know track and field.
Okay.
So, we seeing everything that's unfolding, and you know, we have to talk about it, not just because it's something that is newsworthy or a hot topic
Current.
right now,
Right.
but
Right.
just
Right.
because I just saw so many winos and pill heads
Yeah.
and coke
Naysayers.
users all
Naysayers.
going in on Miss
Yeah.
Richardson about her little old mistake by using the devil's lettuce is what they call it, but I call it God's good plant because it's no negativity that should
Yeah.
be along with this. And anybody that
Associated
knows
with it.
me, it's not negative. It was like, ain't nobody gonna tell me that God did not know what he was doing when he put that plant here and let it grow from the earth. Now, mind you, it's no
Okay.
chemicals and added to my understanding. It grows from the earth, beautiful and already prepared. And you're
Yeah.
not gonna tell me that when he made Earth, Frank, he didn't know. He knew. He said they gonna
Well, they
smoke
say
that.
God didn't make any mistakes.
He didn't make none. He looked at
That's
that
what they
plant. He
said
said
last
they
week.
gonna. He said the good people, my children, are gonna smoke that, and they're gonna be happy, and they're gonna eat a lot, and they just gonna go to
Hey,
sleep.
we
That's
got
it.
we got a guest on this evening,
So
and we can see him, but y'all can't see him. And he's
yeah,
already getting he already getting primed up. All I see is smoke in the
yep. Yep.
in the
I'm
balance.
ready.
T Petty, I see you out there, man.
Yeah, man.
Listen,
So
so
we
is it the
gonna
devil's lettuce or is it God's grace?
it's God's green bush. It's a
Yeah.
lot of words for it. You got Mary Jane. You got
Okay.
I don't call it anything negative. It is the miracle plant. It
Yeah, you ain't trying to hear
hungry,
nothing
happy,
negative about
sleepy.
that.
No, you can't tell me nothing negative. I'm so pro
It's from the earth.
marijuana. I'm so pro marijuana, especially because I do consider myself, Frank, to be a very healthy person. I
Okay.
don't, put and I'm not knocking what nobody else
You don't
do, but I don't
indulge in
believe
anything that's
I don't indulge in the nicotine, any chemical induced, and any of that. But in my lifetime, I have dabbled with the devil's lettuce, and it ain't never steered me wrong. It ain't never made me do nothing stupid. You're gonna be
hey
on the
look,
couch safe and happy.
how is it the devil's lettuce and God's grace all at the same time though?
It ain't though. I don't know why
Uh,
people call it the devil's lettuce. I really think they just did that because it rhymed.
yeah, they just
But
hate.
that
I don't even smoke. Like I don't even smoke, but I just feel like
yeah.
weed is.
And
I
I
don't see
and
the problem
it
with
ain't
weed.
it ain't for everybody. So I'm not knocking nobody who has not ever smoked before. I'm not knocking
I've smoked
nobody, but
before. I've smoked before though.
yeah.
Yeah.
But some people who have it, it's fine. But it's a gateway drug. You do weed, you're gonna be a
Well, that's true.
crackhead.
No,
No, it
that's not true.
ain't.
That's not true. Yeah, that's true because I've never met anybody that do any other drug that never started. Like they said, they just went straight to hell run. They smoke weed first.
Like it's crazy.
That's
Like
true. Now
people,
you can't denounce that part.
I feel like people, if you a crackhead, you was born a crackhead. Like it's in you.
Gee.
It don't matter what you gonna like. And I'm
You
not
going to be
listen.
a crackhead sooner or later.
Let me tell you, we all got family or friends we love to heart that you got to watch your person around that that do the
Who's my
hard
daddy?
stuff. That's
Who's
what
my daddy?
it is what it is. We gonna love them through it. You just watch your
Yeah.
purse,
That's why we
But
wasn't
I
tipping when
feel
he ain't
like,
come back from the store.
let me tell you, Frank, when I first met the good green,
The good green
in 1999, okay,
pulled up on you.
when
Pulled
I
up on you,
first
let the
met
window
it,
down.
when I first met it, and I was not peer pressured or nothing into it. I'm gonna put my
Okay.
business out here. I simply saw how happy people was, and I saw
Yeah.
how calm and at peace people was.
Yeah.
And I said,
And it relaxed the
this is supposed.
stress.
All of these dare videos, all of these pledges and oaths, dare to be different. Oh,
Yeah.
don't do.
You might as well be a
Listen,
little different then.
I saw them people happy, not stealing nothing. They was all making money, just happy on their porch. And I said, I would like to see
To
what
be
all the
just like
hoopla.
them.
What
Yeah.
is all the hoopla about? And you know what? Ain't nothing
That
happened to
is.
me.
That
I
is.
was still productive. I was still a productive and a nice, good Samaritan. And
Okay.
I'm just tired of people talking bad about it. I'm sick
Let
of
me
it,
ask you
Frank.
this. What's your
I'm
funniest high
sick of it.
moment? What's your funniest high moment?
My funniest high moment, because anybody knows me knows that I dabbled. Well, I dabbled.
Well, yeah.
I've
Previously.
lived.
Right.
Previously, yeah, because sister got a job and stuff now. I got to keep my job and stuff. But
You don't want to be like
the
Sha'Carri.
funniest, see, that's the thing. Sometimes, bless her heart, and I'm
Yeah.
still rooting for sis.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
you
me too.
also got to understand circumstances. And y'all, we are on today's show. First of all, we running our mouth. I'd like to acknowledge everybody. Thank y'all for tuning in. But this is something
Thank
I'm
y'all
real
for tuning in
passionate
to On the
about.
Cool podcast, baby.
And,
Hey,
and we gotta.
she's so passionate about that smoke. She went straight in. Like normally we chit chatted
I
about
got.
some other shit. She
I
went
got things.
straight into that. It's from the earth.
I got some shit to say today. You hear me? And
I hope that
we
you
got
let
a special.
Uncle Snoop Jr. on the show before he
We
fucking too high
are.
and passed out. My boy,
Okay.
I
So
see my boy smoking.
So y'all, this is we could just gonna call this the 420 episode, okay? Like we invite the naysayers and everything, ask your questions, because today we have an SME on here, somebody who is a outstanding member in society in regards to being pro marijuana, pro THC, pro life. He is all positive vibes. Every time I see him, he happy.
He
I
happy. He high.
aspire
Yeah.
to be like this man. He is probably the happiest poster I follow. Like a man who looks genuinely happy about his life decisions and in
Hey,
his
that's no lie.
photos. Like
That's no
seriously.
lie.
And
That's
that's
no
no
lie.
lie.
And
I mean
90%
that.
of them about weed. You know what?
And
I've
he's
never seen
happy.
his kids. I've never seen his kids or anything, but I've seen I've seen them post
But
weed.
we
Now I know his kids. I know him personally. Yes, I know him personally.
but
So that's not a
we gonna
sky. That's
get
my man.
we gonna get him on here before we dive deep into like the topics. But most of the topics today are definitely talking about God's good green. So
So you got a few
welcome to
comments
the
over there.
stage,
People are already kind of getting fly in the
baby.
comments.
Listen, I see. So I'm gonna read a couple. Miss Brandley says, "What's good, fam? We
That's
got a
Bradley.
Facebook."
Bradley, that's the guy. That's the homie. My brother-in-law, Bradley.
Okay, Bradley. My bad, baby. I'm sorry, my
She
blind
tried to
ass.
get jazzy with you because you're going against the weed smoke.
I'm blind. I can't good,
Hey man, you
squinch.
chopping up
And
pretty
then we got
bad.
not devil's lettuce. Who me?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
chopping up.
Yep.
Can you hear me now?
I
My
can hear you, but
bundles
the
was in the
video is
way.
kind of off. Yeah, that's that
Oh, that's
Mary
crazy.
J.
I got the good internet though. That's
You fucking
crazy. I'm
up
gonna
the
have to talk to
reception.
Xfinity. That's I think that's you, Frank, because mine's listen, I'm over here on point. But yeah,
We got
so
food stamp internet over here. I know my internet running good.
but yeah, so we got people coming in. Sparkle said it's messed up. Let me show sis comment. It's messed up how weed is so demonized, but alcohol and cancer sticks are
Demonized, but
normalized.
alcohol and
I know
cancer.
precisely.
That's true.
So Frank, why you got me just on here by myself?
Tell me about it. Oh, look.
let's
I don't
bring
know. I
our
was trying
guest
to drink
on.
my liquor that's demonized. I thought you were gonna read the comments. But look, so you gotta tell me about your high moment,
No,
like your funniest high moment.
I was at PV. It had to be maybe 2005 ish. And we took
Okay.
for those who know about, rolling and stuff like that, we took like 3 Titans.
Yeah.
Titans are about that long and
Yeah.
they're like kind of like Phillies. We took 3 Titans and we rolled them all together. And I think in those 3 Titans was at least $75 worth of weed. For a
Yeah.
college student, that's a lot.
No,
That's a
that's a
lot for a
lot. So
college student.
back then
That's a
you
lot.
weren't even smoking. Y'all wasn't smoking drugs. You probably smoking regular Reggie or some mid.
It could have been. It was probably no, that was mid because
Probably some
honestly,
mid, yeah.
yeah. And so
But the Dallas
we
cats
probably
had the mid back then in PB too.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that it was like New Year's, and
Yeah.
I remember. I think we had like a little smoke out because that's pretty much all you could do in college. That's all
Yeah,
you could
college.
afford.
Right,
When
right,
you
right.
couldn't go to the club, you had kickback smoke outs, or just chill, cook out, whatever. And
Right.
I just remember everybody fell asleep and we was eating up stuff. And it was at least, because we stayed off campus, it was at least 15 people passed out in the house when I
Knocked
woke
out.
up a few hours later. And everybody had like chips and like cereal.
Snacks.
I had like a Fruit Loop on my eyelid. I was like covered in snacks. I had Skittles all in my bra. I couldn't even
You
tell
don't
you
know
what I
what
ate, but
happened.
everybody was high, happy, sleepy. And it was
Yeah.
a good time. Ain't
And it
nobody
was
fight.
enjoyable. Right.
Ain't nobody have no energy to fight. Nobody had energy to fight. No extra drugs were brought in. Like it was just
Yeah.
a good time. If anything, everybody was drinking like trash can punch, 151 punch.
Just having
And that
enjoying the
was like,
moment.
and I remember waking up from a coma and just seeing all these bodies like laid out. They just literally, everybody literally just fell asleep where they was. And it was the
So
wildest thing to me. I was like, this is like a movie. Like this ain't
yeah,
normal.
this is the
How?
real
And I think
hangover
somebody
joint.
was sleeping. I think somebody was sleeping in the driveway. It was wild. It was crazy,
Too high.
but it was a
So
good
look,
time.
I'm like in ninth grade, 10th grade, and smoking was just a regular thing. It was no problem, right? So one of my
Yeah.
cousins decided to come with me and my other kinfolk. He gonna skip school with us today. So we get high and everything
Mm-hmm.
is all good. Now it's time to go home at 4 o'clock because he got the door key for my auntie. So
Mm-hmm.
he's putting lotion. He's in the car putting lotion on his do-rag, lotion on his face. He's trying to knock off the weed smell.
Oh
So we
Lord.
drop him off. He opened up the door for Amy, and later
Mm-hmm.
that evening we get a call like, they damn near had a family meeting. We
Oh
sitting in
Lord. Cause
the family meeting trying to figure out what happened. My man went jumped in the pool and almost drowned because he was trying to knock the weed smell off.
see, no,
So
he did too much. He
yeah,
went a
but
little too hard.
we was smoking. Like we at that time we was smoking like chocolate tie and the weed.
Yeah. But
So
when you start, and I feel like those are mistakes that beginner smokers make. Like when you are well versed into it, you know how to do what you do,
oh
puff,
yeah.
puff, puff, real cute, and then
Relax.
you
Just
be like, all right,
relax.
I'm
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
You gonna drop out of the smoke sesh. But before we really get deep into the topics, because y'all, we really do got actual topics about weed that today, because we running our mouth now shooting the shit. We do want to bring our SME that we invited. I want him to also tell us about like what he does for a living, the pros and cons of the weed. I'm
Hey, you
almost certain there
excited
aren't
about
no
this shit, yeah?
cons.
You excited.
Listen, I aspire, like when I retire, I'm finna be like, yo, where all the spots at? Like what's
Yeah.
up?
He
But
gonna own them all. Don't have to worry about that. He gonna be the
hey,
owner of them
and
joints.
I'm trying to get some stock. I got a couple of weed stocks now. I think me and him chopped it up before about some weed stocks and stuff I should invest in, like even on Robinhood app that is weed
Right.
related or related to the industry in some way. But yeah, man, let's bring him on. Gonna add him.
T
Hey,
Petty.
Hey, what's up?
Torian.
Say,
Welcome.
man, you was almost at the end of that thing. You had to roll another one, man.
Yeah, buddy.
What's going on?
So
How Vegas treating you?
Oh man, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Just touched the ground, getting some things together.
Right on.
Getting some things together.
How the big weather change from being from Spokane or Washington down there to Vegas?
Man, I'm used to the heat. This heat here ain't like where we from.
No, I was down there. It was
that's different.
116
It's dry.
degrees.
But see, I like this dry heat because at nighttime, shit, you ain't sweating at nighttime.
Right. Right. Well, if you high, it don't even matter. You don't even remember.
So Torian,
Man,
can you tell us a little bit about what because you actually like worked. I don't know if you still do. So
yeah,
correct me if
that's
I'm wrong, but can you tell us about your job?
well, see, I came to Vegas to take over 3 grow site and a dispensary overnight. So basically, what my job entails from growing the actual product to the end sale of the actual product. We don't sell to regular people. All my weed goes to the dispensaries, basically. So I supply the dispensary. A dispensary might need 200 to 300 pounds or so of weed. I got to make sure they get it, and
That's
different
awesome.
branding with different companies and different things of that nature outside
Mhm.
of the actual growing process. I just do everything weed. I don't do nothing that's not weed.
That's
So we can talk
amazing.
about the growing process. We can talk about the sales process. We can talk about all of the new ventures of weed, just like in Vegas.
Mhm.
Be with a guy down about a Vegas lounge, a marijuana lounge, since Vegas is allowing marijuana
Mhm.
lounges. So it's
Recreational,
just
yeah.
so much more stuff
That's
to do
beautiful.
and everything. So
That's
I
beautiful.
don't know.
It's beautiful. I like you. I ain't never seen you smile like this before. You
It's because
rosy cheeks
I'm
and
just so
everything.
he is so inspiring. Like I be on his post and he can tell you whenever he posts something, I be like, that's just marvelous, just wonderful.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
looks
yeah,
it
yeah.
looks like a wonderful life. It
Well,
just
you know
really
what? You know,
does.
we come from the
It's
same
a
place,
beautiful
man,
thing. I
and
can't lie.
just to see
Frank,
him
this tell you,
smiling and
man,
enjoying life is a good.
this weed changed my life, man. I was a
Right.
bullshit motherfucker, man. This weed changed my life in a whole
Yeah.
perspective. I was a real
Yeah,
bullshit motherfucker. I was a single cigarette ass motherfucker, man. This weed
yeah.
changed my life.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah,
It
that's
just
what I
changed
just
me,
said. I just
man.
said that I don't know if the screen broke up, but we come from the same place. So
You know,
Yeah.
bullshit,
to see you smiling and see you enjoying life, that mean a
man.
lot, you know what I'm saying? Because where we come from, people don't have that opportunity. People don't smile, people don't get to enjoy and travel and see shit. So
So
just to see you doing something you like, seeing you happy, that shit mean a whole lot.
Man,
Torian,
it's fun, man. And
I
like I
want to
tell
pick your
everybody, huh?
mhm. I want to pick
Like
your
I tell
brain just a
everybody,
little
it's for
bit. Like
everybody though. What's my what like?
I want to pick your brain
This
just
nigga
a little
high as
bit.
shit.
I want. I want
What's my wood like?
it's okay though. We gonna work with him. I'm okay. I'm okay with him being happy. You better live your life.
Yeah.
Um, Toria, I want to know what made you make the decision to say, you know what, I'm gonna leave Houston and I'm gonna go because Washington, I believe,
It's a
was the
long
first
way.
place you went to, right? So
Yeah.
what
Well, see,
made you say, okay,
what
I'm gonna
made
just
me
go?
finally go ahead and do it. Well, man, I lost one of my best friends. When I lost my boy Slugger,
Slug
man, I
Bug.
really was like, man, you know what? Fuck Houston and everything it got to offer. I was in
Slug
Houston, I was
Bug.
going to jail, bullshitting, hiding the motherfucker and everything else. But when I lost my mama, then I was still on bullshit note. Then when I lost one of my everyday best friends,
Yeah.
man,
Hmm.
shit, something had to shake. Something had to
Yeah.
shake.
Slug
So
Yeah,
Bug.
shit. So I shook.
yeah.
And
How did the opportunity come up? Like, how did you even get that opportunity to go up there?
man, I know a few people just from being around. I just kept talking and feeling my way around about who had already got in the industry from that Howl at the Moon and stuff like that. a guy named Chris Kelly, and he was one of the first ones, and another guy named Chris Pachitas, and they told me, man, just shoot your shot. Everybody looking for something to start with, and shit, I shot my shot, and the rest was history.
Right on.
Yeah. So, how do you feel about like what? I'm gonna figure out how to word this. What can you say, or what is your rebuttal to people who feel like weed is a gateway drug, weed has health risks, weed, like just any naysayers, about weed and it leading to other things or all things negative, or you not being able to be productive on it? What facts do you have about it that you've had to learn with you having being in the industry?
Man, that's a lie. If you a bullshit motherfucker, if you an unmotivated motherfucker, excuse me, y'all. If you unmotivated,
Okay.
you just gonna be unmotivated, man. Ain't nothing go get you to go. Ain't nothing go get you to do. I don't give a damn. Shit, if you drink water every day, water gonna make you lazy if you're a bullshit motherfucker. So shit.
Yeah.
Everybody gonna find the excuse. Everybody got their excuse for being bullshit, but shit, you can blame a million other things. Some people weed was an excuse. They got an excuse. Some people look for excuses. Shit.
Yeah. So it's just kind of one of those things. It's not necessarily
the gateway drug. Shit. Before anybody ever even smoke, they have a drink. Most people have a drink before they smoke. Before they ever smoke, they drink. So shit, if you go say gateway drug, you gonna start with alcohol first.
That's true. That's a good statement though. But what I told her before you got on, I think you could hear that. I never seen a person say they smoke crack and never smoke weed though.
But see, a lot.
I feel like it's a gateway drug. I feel like it's like the facts be the facts, right? Like that's how I feel about Sha'Carri. That's how I feel about Sha'Carri.
If you're weak-minded.
I don't think it's about weak-minded or not. Just the fact that most people start by smoking weed. That just doesn't mean that everybody that smoke weed is gonna go to the extreme.
Right, because I was gonna say I've been at a party and had cocaine at a young age put in front of me on a table. It's certain
That's what I don't do.
things. Yeah, it's certain things I have been exposed to that I could have tried and I didn't try. And I started, like I said.
The thing I say about that is the people that 99. They were smoking that before they smoked weed.
Smoke crack before you smoke weed?
No, some of them crackheads was smoking crack before weed.
No, boy. Cut it out, boy.
No, man. Some of them are just straight crackheads, man.
No, damn wet. Crackheads don't smoke wet. She said so wet.
I'm talking about, man. Them motherfuckers start rolling primos. See, back in the 70s and shit, that when them primos was popular. They were rolling weed and crack and shit together.
I've heard.
They were rolling what and what?
They were rolling weed and goddamn crack together.
Yeah.
Don't. That's true.
So you can't single out weed.
No. I don't smoke weed, but I ain't got nothing against it. I just feel like, just like you say, if you motivated, if you are weak-minded, if you allow, anything is going to take you over. And there's a bunch of more addictions on this earth that more so than weed. They allow you to drink soda with all that sugar. They allow you to, like you say, liquor. And you never really get a person that just high off weed and go crash, kill 6 people in a car. You know what I'm saying? They might not go fast, but so I think it should be legalized for the simple fact that it's not as unhealthy as they're trying to push.
Mm-hmm. So, Torian, do you feel that there's some kind of political agenda as to why weed is being demonized by some and not by others? Like, is it money? Is it because they basically can't make money off of it? Because when you think back to the prohibition with alcohol, the only reason alcohol was banned initially from the U.S. was because they could not tax it. So do you think that that's the only reason weed is being really outlawed by politicians is because they can't profit?
Nope. We got to go back to Ronald Reagan days from when in the America's vault, when every drug was stored in the ton. You got tons of cocaine, you got tons of marijuana. Actually know who funded what they considered drugs first, and then you'll see how the funding is broke down now. Like to get a license in Vegas, you paying $100,000 straight off the muscle. they saying that the money goes to the state, but we know when it comes to big money, a lot of money comes up missing and stuff.
Right.
So a lot of time it seems to be unnecessary taxes. It's like in Washington, if you got a dispensary, you buy the weed and everything else up front. You pay your license, you pay your taxes on that. Then at the end of the year, all the weed you got in the stores, you got to pay another tax on that. So you can't buy no more weed and restock your inventory yet because you got to pay another tax. It's so many taxes, and then that's not include what the city taxes got for your city ordinance on this and smell nuisance and all of this. So you talking about 300,000 just to run the tilt one sometimes.
Yeah.
So
let me ask you this. Do you think that the taxes, the fees, and the interest fees are set so high that a certain demographic can't get into the business?
Man, you're damn right.
That part.
You're damn right. It's set so high that way. But then with anything, you don't want to water it down neither. You don't want to have it like they had it back in the day. Liquor stores literally on every corner you turn. So how do you balance that out?
They want to make it competitive.
Yeah, how do you make it for everybody?
Yeah, but I don't. I think
still don't feel like the industry is for us. Just the whole setup of it. But
so what about the cures? Like with weed? Like what's the? I think it's more pros. You know what I mean? You have more people that have like anxiety,
epilepsy,
arthritis.
Yeah, the tumor that killed my mama, cannabinoids, have been known to shrink tumors of cancer up to 60%. My mom died of a cancerous tumor. So, you know, just the studies alone of what it can do, it is amazing. See, we got to understand marijuana hasn't been able to be studied even by like the colleges because of all the medical stuff is done on college campus in America. Right. And that's all federally funded. Federal funds can't cover no marijuana.
Right.
They just approved 3 universities, but neither one of those universities was a HBCU. I think it's like Maryland, Carolina, and somebody else.
That ain't no surprise though.
So you can just look at the whole setup as who is it for. But you got quite a few black people pushing their way in it. You got them boys over at Pineapple Express. You got Cookies. I can't say burning them black, but they Indian. They got brown skin. So
people of color.
Yeah, people of color. So you got a few of them that's big players, but then you got a lot of them that dominate the Colorado industry. They just different. They different. I don't know what to call them. They just different.
But they got the finances. They got the backing.
Yeah,
they got the backing off the muscle.
Yeah.
So one last question, T, and we gonna definitely let you get back to your sesh. But
I want to hear what he got to think about Sha'Carri too, so we'll let him.
Go
ahead.
I definitely want his opinion on Sha'Carri because I actually saw some of his posts and he was kind of going in. But do you feel like there's always like a ongoing debate? Not even a debate, but just kind of inclination. People trying to say basically that the use of marijuana or other substances are always related to like depression or poor coping mechanisms. There are like people who actually use it purely for recreational use, just like having a drink, right? Or do you feel like it's always like that underlying, issue or coping that they're trying to get through?
No, hell no. A lot of time, motherfuckers just be smoking to be smoking. Man, I can be just smoke the blunt and then just be smoking to be smoking. Sometimes it's just what you do. Some people bite their nails. I smoke weed. Some people, they do their thing, and I prefer to fire up a blunt. So I can't say what it is, but I don't think so. Some of the happiest people, some of the people, the most chill people, go sit back and smoke them a blunt.
So prior to now you out in Seattle, now you out in Vegas. Prior to that, when you were in Third Ward in the Hood, were you smoking to take the stress away, smoking because you like the feeling, or smoking just because it was something to do?
Shit, it was something to do. Just smoking because it was something to do. A lot of the time, And when you can't smoke, you can't smoke. When you got to be at work and you got to take care of business, you can't smoke. You ain't thinking about smoking. You
Yeah.
ain't got no weed smoker. A weed smoker don't even need a break from work to smoke weed like a cigarette smoker would.
Right.
So
Yep,
that right there will tell you something in general.
Yeah. Okay.
it's not
So
addictive.
And then
Not for
it's so
everybody.
many different ways to get high. It don't make no sense. Like I got some mint. I got a breath mint right now. I put a breath mint in my mouth and get high on you. So
yeah.
you don't know when I'm getting high no more.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, that's new. That's
yeah. You
changed. You
got
got
edibles,
gummies, you
all
got
kind of stuff.
Yeah,
edibles. Right.
Juice,
Right.
food, all kind of
yeah.
Water,
stuff.
you got cannabis infused water. You got so much.
Hmm. So, Torian, how do you feel about the whole Sha'Carri Richardson drug test disqualification and all of that? Like, do you feel like that, of course, we all know rules are rules. They're probably not going to bend them for her. I don't think anybody that's logical is expecting that, but should the rules definitely be reevaluated? We've seen it in other sports, hockey, football. They've really relaxed like the
Man,
rules on marijuana.
everybody know it should be changed. Everybody know that. They know that damn weed ain't did nothing to nobody.
Yeah.
Shit, it's
Hmm.
another reason to just, shit, pick out what they consider the weed or whatever. You
Hmm.
gotta walk it like you're talking sometime when you're in a playing field, shit, you gotta suit and tie it. So
Well,
shit.
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
that's
So
true.
That was my point of view on it. Like I figured she had to know that they was coming for
but then
something.
again, but then again, to say I wasn't high above my mind when my mama died, man, shit, something ought to be said
Mhm.
about that in itself, though. You don't get no bereavement time. You don't get none of that. You
Right.
know, you don't have
Yeah.
nothing. So what about the like they trying to say it's a mental health push? Shit, that in itself ought to gave her grace. But shit,
Right.
Hmm.
motherfucker don't care about how your mental health is.
I think in a sense they did give her
Yeah.
a break because you remember when Phelps did it, they were kind of I think he got 4 months suspension.
Yeah, he got like 6 months, but see, he wasn't
Yeah.
really too much in
But
season when he got it. So when
Right.
he felt
that's
So
he
what I
that
was
felt
was
about to
right.
better.
say. Wasn't he able? He was able to
Yeah, he
compete,
was.
He
right?
was still able to get into the Olympics because the suspension was like 4 to 6 months, but the Olympics was only in the
Hmm.
qualification was in 7 months.
Yeah,
So he was still able to
Hmm.
qualify. So that's why people were saying, well, they let Phelps swim and he blah blah blah. But it was a time thing. Her
yeah.
situation just fell in the wrong time slot.
But then shit. It ain't even so much. A lot of people go blame America, and rightfully so for all the fucked up shit America do. It's the Chinese that is really over the Olympic Committee this year. That's
So
hosting the
that's what it
game.
is. Right. That's what hosting.
And China ain't trying to have
Hmm.
their nigga there.
And
China don't
they
like
very,
black folk,
yeah,
man.
they very
Shit.
strict.
Man, I'm talking
Especially
about
not
they
right
trying to
now.
Hmm.
involve every nigga.
Yeah.
Man, you
Especially
can't
not right
have
now.
you can't rep your BLMs if you're done. You can't do none of that.
Yeah.
So shit, China say fuck you, nigga, man.
See, I
Shit.
think that was something they were scared of too, because a few of the sisters that ran, they turned their back to the flag. They did a lot of stuff to
Yeah.
go against. I think that was a big reason why they are pushing. Because two other girls didn't qualify either. They qualified with the times, but
Yeah.
they found some other reasons to not let them run.
Yeah,
So
it's past America. They got two Africans, this one tribe, they women they known to have higher testosterone than regular people.
right,
They known for that. And
they
they
said their
they
T cells were too high.
disqualifying
They
them
didn't
for
want to
that.
let them do it. They didn't want to let them run.
Yeah, they won't even let
Sean
them
Murray,
compete.
Sean Murray just made a good point. I was about to touch on this, but he basically said weed is not a performance enhancing drug. If anything, it would probably make you slower because
Slow,
it's relaxing. That's true.
right?
Because I was
That's
tripping that
false.
she even ran
That's
that
false.
time being a
That's
smoker. So
false.
the fact that she
See,
ran that time,
every strand of marijuana is not relaxing. Every strand of marijuana ain't
oh, okay.
relaxing.
Because you got what, sativa and indica, right?
You
Are
know,
those the only
yeah,
two
that's
main
the end of
ones?
it. So yeah, in a sativa, if she's smoking some good sativa, you know, what when she's smoking
Good
some good
sativa.
tangy, she can get out there and run, function, and do her thing on some good tangy. That ain't nothing but
Yeah.
some oranges.
Yeah,
That's a citrus plant right there to go get you going. You
Yeah.
ain't gotta smoke heavy.
But still,
Yeah.
yet and still, that even though it's a different strain, it doesn't give a performance enhancing though.
No, it don't get no
So it's
type
Yeah,
of
not
it
like a
doesn't make.
steroid. It's not like the other stuff these other
Yeah.
people getting caught on. Even though like you said, it's really more so
but see at
surprising
the end of the day
that she
too,
can
it's like
run and be a
even
smoker.
with that being said, and it's not to back them folk up, but we don't know if it does give you an edge or not. It hadn't been studied that deep to
Okay,
even
well,
know
that
if it
make a
gives
lot of
you
sense.
an edge or not.
Yeah,
You know, you don't know if it gives somebody an edge or not.
look out
So,
blind.
you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
it might just open up somebody oxygen passageways for them or so. You know, shit, I know my
Yeah.
lungs when I get in the pool, I can stay underwater a long time. It might be for that good from that good weed.
Yeah.
So shit, I can swim like a fish.
Okay, look, let me ask y'all
Yeah.
this. This is a question to both of y'all. So, how do
Mhm.
you feel about the response to the suspension and the suspension itself? Like, do you feel like it was fair? Do you feel
I
like
feel like okay,
with the rules
so
being currently what they are,
again,
we all know that we should be
I'm
legalized.
the type of person. I'm very fiscally driven, which means that if I have a job or if I have any kind of promotion I'm trying to get, any kind of job I'm trying to get, I'm gonna do what I need to do to get that job. Like Torian said earlier, suit and tie. I know how to play the game. So with that does come a bit of responsibility, and I believe she took that responsibility. She really made no excuses, and she did own the fact that yeah, I was going through XYZ, but I did what I did and I knew the rules. So I did. I really, really respected and commended her for that. But what I don't like was the response from a lot of our people. And one thing about our people is a lot of them don't realize, like, you don't know how much somebody is already beating themselves up. If I do something, okay, I know the
It
rules,
ain't
I know
just
what
that.
I did, but it's the fact
But
they
when you
turned
got
their back
people like
so fast.
Lisa Clement, whose husband is directly invested in TAC, who sit on the international committee. You got people like them who directly making money from TAC, but got the nerve enough to pass judgment. That's the
See,
biggest issue.
Yeah.
You know how you
the
profiting off of it,
hypocrites.
but you go pass judgment on it. You know that's the
Hmm.
foul point. You know Obama, his wife, Michelle, one of her people, they in Oregon, they do the weed and shit. You know, a lot of people could have stepped in and said something, but you
Yeah.
know,
Everybody, don't
it
nobody want to get no dirt on them.
Well,
ain't
nobody want
nobody
to go
on the
against
side with
what's the
nothing
popular
because shit.
conversation either.
Everybody actually thinking the feds finna come and do something, and the feds ain't finna do nothing, man, right now. The
Yeah.
money too good. The money
Yeah.
under the table right now too good. You talking about 10 billion in cash to the marijuana industry alone. See,
Yeah.
all that the FHA loan and all that. If you go work in the industry, you got to be ready for all that. You ain't finna get no federal home loan, none of that. We don't qualify for none of that. You know, we straight cash
What?
money. Yeah,
I didn't know that. That's
yeah,
crazy.
but we pay federal taxes. We
Right.
Okay.
pay federal taxes, but you can't get no type of federal grant, no
No
type of
federal
federal money.
funding. Yeah.
And we
Because
nothing.
well, yeah, that makes sense. Because they basically don't want to get the whole funding of drugs on them. So you
So
can't
all
get
that
like
PPP
you
and
can't get a
all that,
business loan and all that.
yeah.
Okay.
The marijuana people, they didn't get none of that. They didn't get no PPPs or none of that. You know, you didn't qualify for
Man,
none
you
of that.
saw how he put a
You
4P
got
on
to
that
get it how
bitch.
you
He said
get it.
PPP.
So
My boy high.
Torian,
Hey, your bucket
one
hat on wrong, boy.
I'm a pick
Man,
your
Nigga
brain
so
one
high he
last
believe.
time because I feel like he's really like the closest to an SME on this that I know of that I feel comfortable with going to. So say for instance in 5 years, okay, Texas go ahead, and this good old red state going to say, yeah, we, it's a go. What kind of what would you tell people who are interested in maybe opening a dispensary or
I'm gonna
growing
tell
or
them. I'm gonna
starting
tell
a
them.
farm?
I'm gonna
What
tell
could
them
they
if
do
you
now
go
to get ready for that money?
say that again, you broke up.
What could you tell people who may want to get into the industry if it comes to Texas in 5 years? What can they do to prepare? Do they need to of course, get their money together to pay all of these taxes
Yeah, we gonna
and
have
what
Man,
that.
else?
I'm gonna tell them right now. They need to get to writing their city council members and everything else, letting them know that they finna be applying for their license so they can be on
Mhm.
the first list to getting the license. You know, they do right like selecting. They select who get licensed. Like it's not your choice if you go get licensed or not. They select who get licensed.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, so it ain't like, you know, you getting picked. It ain't like just because you got the money you can get it. Now you might be waiting for a whole year or two before they approve you.
Yeah.
What if you got a bunch of land and want to start a farm? What kind of stuff? You got to get like some agricultural stuff in line with the state?
Yeah, it depends on what kind of grow you finna do. If you finna grow outside or you finna grow an indoor grow. Or you growing hydroponics or what type of grow you doing. So all that depends, you know. Some people grow in hoop houses, some people grow in greenhouses, some people grow on open land, some people prefer mountainside grows. So you just got all kind of preferences. See, we go do his thing. You know, as long as you got your 12 and 12 after your veg state, then you change that plant from 12 to 8, they get it 12 hours sunlight, you know, and then the 12-hour darkness. You know, then when them flowers start coming on that thing, you know you go get something. It's all other no problem. You just gotta hope you don't get no type of bugs or nothing like that. See, a lot of the weed in the streets now is considered bad weed. It's like it's mold. That's how I get to the streets. It's because of mold. Mold is one of the biggest issues with weed because of the density of the nuggets sometimes.
So street weed is moldy weed?
Man, 80% of the weed on the streets is sent that way because of mold.
Yeah, it's been like that. It's been like that even with regular weed, not even with drugs. Most of the weed you smoking is molded weed anyway.
You won't really know, but you know you can't pass it off in today's.
It got a smell. It got a different smell. Mold weed got a different smell, and most people think that the weed is fire. Well, that smell is fire.
But it's bad. It's spoiled. Well,
I don't think that's not necessarily spoil you. Just meaning it's kind of like buying clothes from Marshalls. It's something wrong with it, but you just don't know. You know what I mean? Or it's a reason it's there. You know, whether it be overstock, out of season, or man, it's a reason it's there.
But see, when you swat with the weed, you won't ever take a loss, because then you're able to press the weed up. And that's when you press that weed up, that's when you get your shadows, that's when you get your crumbles and all that. All that comes from
wet keef and all that. Is that keef too?
Now, keef come from dried weed.
Oh.
Your shadows and all your concentrates type stuff, that's made from wet weed.
Interesting.
Once weed is dried and cured, basically you lose almost 60% of weight. So you can go and cut down a room of weed full of plants. You'll think you got wet weed, you might have 200 pounds of weed. By the time that weed dries, man, shit, you lucky to have 45 of them sometimes.
So look, somebody had a question. Is the mold detrimental to your lungs? Moldy weed gonna hurt you?
No, but you got all these new kind of little old sicknesses that they talking about, like prolonged weed smoke, having you throwing up, can have your stomach hurt and stuff like that. So all that come from the street weed. You know where that's coming from, when people getting these sicknesses in the morning and stuff. Man, I wake up like I just told my knee trying to hoop at 37. Man, I still got this weed, and I'm a fat motherfucker too. This weed a motherfucker. It's you.
Yeah.
So everybody in the street getting stepped on weed. Got it.
What's the livest strand out there that you got your hands on? What's the best strand?
Man, ain't no best strand. It's a mood strand.
No, I'm saying, what's your favorite? What's your favorite?
I ain't got one.
No.
because that might cross something up tomorrow, and man, I might be liking that motherfucker for a week. And then the next week,
that's the hybrids, right? That everybody keep making. That's what they call it, right?
Now, hybrid ain't nothing but indica and sativa cross, and it depends on which way it's leaning. A true hybrid is 50% sativa, 50% indica. That's what a hybrid is. A lot of people, if they talk about they exotics and stuff, well, you got to know marijuana is like wine. You know, you got your low shelf, you got your mid shelf, you got your high shelf. Right. You know, everybody want to act like they smoking the high shells, and they don't bit more know what they've got. Because
would moon rocks be considered high shelf? The moon rock things?
Yeah, but moon rocks is more than just flour. See, moon rocks is an actual nugget dipped in oil, dipped in keef.
Hey, so I'm glad that you asked that because this question asks, do you think the chemicals in today's weed may be
Mm-hmm.
harmful? Because that's where I was going next. Now you're
Mm-hmm.
smoking more than weed. Like now it's getting
No,
past.
it's different forms of weed, right?
No, no,
No,
no. See, the thing is now you have more research on weed, so you're hearing more about weed. It's not that weed has done something that it has changed. It's still the same thing.
no,
It's
no, no,
just
no,
that
no. No, I'm asking. So, like she's saying, the moon rock and these other with the crust and dust and the keef. Now it's going past just the you going past just the leaf, like past just the marijuana. They going
the,
liquid
It's still
the
the
THC.
leaf.
thing
It's
is,
just
the thing
different
is,
forms.
nothing has been added to it and nothing has been taken away
So
from
it's
it
not a
for it to
chemical.
do something else. It's not like you whipping up crack. See that oil that is dipped in is nothing but that flour pressed into a different form.
Okay.
That keef that you dipping it in is nothing but actual shake. I gotta find my grinder. I find my grinder up in here, and I'll show you some keef.
It's nothing but
Keef
the it's
just
nothing but
comes off the
leftover.
weed when you keef just comes off the weed when you grind and dry weed. So and then at the bottom of the grinder, it saves it. Yeah,
Mm.
it never changes.
I've
Weed
I've
is
seen
not
I've
another
seen
chemical or
I've seen
nothing.
that before. I've seen that before. That's like what's left after you grind it,
The
and you keep
residue.
grinding, and it builds up. But it's still all just a plant.
Hey, he
So
not this. This is the best
You
guess
get
we'd have had.
this here is keef.
this. He got yep.
That's
Mm-hmm.
keef, and that came from me breaking down the weed up in this point right here.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's all just connected.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
that's keef right there.
That's it.
And
It's
then
just a
Say,
different
say,
form,
for you to be such a
Frank.
fucking weed head, boy, you one intelligent son of a bitch.
Yeah, he is.
but see
Yeah.
that's seeing when you say adding chemicals, nothing is added.
Yeah, you
You
know what?
actually get keef
You're
from the
right, because
Correct
I
same
feel
him,
like I feel
Torian.
like it was too much. They doing too much. You know what I mean?
Correct
But
him,
you make a lot
Torian.
of
It's
sense. It's
all
just
from the
weed.
earth. It's
Yeah,
from the earth.
yeah.
It's just like
See,
black people. You got light skinned blacks, you got mulattoes, you got black, you got you
I
got
like the
blacks
black
from
black.
overseas. At the end of the day, that's just how weed is. It comes in different forms. Correct.
see, you talk about when you put weed in extreme cold or something like that, you might get THC crystals and stuff like that. When weed
Mm-hmm.
comes into extreme heat, you might get some type of crumble or something like that. So playing with weed at different temperatures and everything else, you're able to get different concentrations of weed, different breakdowns of the weed. You might, if you wash weed in water for a long time and then press it with all of the raw material come down, then you go get you some hash. Then you
Hmm.
put it in a cloth, you let it freeze, then you got you some hash.
Let
And then
me.
you can age that hash for years and years and years. So just like they go back and pop open their bottle of wine from 10 years,
Yeah,
I go back and pop open that hash and put it on that weed from 10 years ago and be super high.
yeah, yeah.
That is just
Okay.
the same as weed.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch this episode here. I'm gonna be a. They
This
gonna have to
is
give me
very
an honorary doctorate degree,
listen.
like
This
you a
is
PhD or
so
something.
educational. I'm so happy you was able to join us, Torian. I'm
Hey, you
serious.
need a
Like you
show.
didn't.
You need a show, bro.
You like legit could do like a short podcast on all things weed, just everything, like straight up. Like
I had to
I feel
do
like
it
the only
when it
thing
was y'all, but this is literally what I go around the world and do. This is what I do.
you
I
talk
tell
about
people all
it,
about weed.
it's your
I just talk
passion.
about weed. Yeah, that's
That's
all I do.
amazing. I'm so jealous sometimes.
Now
I ain't
you're a
jealous of too
weedologist, bro.
Torian, I ain't jealous of too many people. But when I tell you I'm a little jealous, I feel like I should have, I missed a calling or something because you just be so happy and you're passionate and you love what you do. A lot of people can't say that. A lot of
That's
us just
true.
out here doing what we
Most of
do, making good money,
just to
and we're
survive.
surviving. But
Yeah,
it's good money. But do we love what we do? You know what I'm saying? You love what you do, so I
But
can't
when
be
I
mad
tell
at
you,
that.
and see, that's the thing though too, is damn good money. I'm talking about, man, you get you some money, man.
You
I
said a
promise you, you'll get you some money.
$1 billion
When
industry, multi-billion dollar industry.
man, I'm talking about a multi-billion dollar man. If I don't get me a couple of these more M's about these people, man, something wrong with me. Something will
yeah,
be wrong with me.
Yeah, because you got the knowledge, and I'm sure you're making the connections too. But overall, you are pro weed. It ain't gonna kill you. It ain't gonna hurt you, and that's it.
So how you think Sha'Carri should have handled the situation? T. Petty think she handled it right, or she should have been on her toes?
Man, you gotta always be on your P's and Q's. You gotta always be on your P's and Q's no matter what. But see, she runs, so she in they field. I ain't never doing that where a motherfucker go piss test me. If you ain't telling me you got $3 million for me, you're not getting you get pissed on. Shit, you ain't getting
Because
no piss about me. You know
they
what I
ain't
look
paying.
like? No, man.
They're not paying you enough to not indulge, basically.
And them people, man, I'm talking about shit. Them people ain't paying you at least $40 an hour. You ain't got no business pissing for them. Man, they ain't got no business pissing you.
Yeah. Well, I'm taking all this education and I'm sure I'm gonna go back and watch the video too, Torian. But we appreciate you, man. I don't know, Frank. You got anything else to ask this intelligent individual?
I
This
appreciate y'all.
connoisseur?
Be getting ready. I'm in the lunch. Tory and the urban community will be everywhere, along with a lot of other stuff I'm doing.
I'm gonna support the hell
I'm
out of
tired of
you,
making
for real.
everybody else. I'm tired of making everybody else stuff booming, and then so I'm gonna do something for us a little bit.
Please do.
Yeah, yeah.
And so let me. And one last question: if it ever gets legalized here, would you consider coming back and opening your own dispensary?
Man,
Man, we don't want you back in
man,
H-Town.
I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna buy me. I'm gonna buy some. I'm gonna buy some land or something down there. But as far as wanting to live, I ain't gonna live nowhere past 4 years. Man, I love the way I live. Like, man, I just
Yeah.
got down me moved here, the movers. Shit, you can hear my echo shit. I ain't even been putting nothing in here yet. Man, New York just legalized weed. I want to go to New York for 3, 4 years. New York tell me, hey, Tony, we got a nice little old deal for you. Guess where I'm gonna be at? I'm gonna
New
be in
York.
New York.
Go where the money at. It's still what
Man,
you love. I feel you.
This nigga so
don't put
high, he
me in
think New
no
York gonna
place.
call him personally.
Well, I'm happy. I'm gonna say this with just us going to high school together and me knowing you. I am legit, and it's from the bottom of my heart. I'm legit proud and happy for you, and I
Yeah.
aspire to be as high as you every day once I retire. I really do,
Yeah, man.
and
Oh yeah.
I'm just
that's
glad
it.
that you
High and
doing what you
happy.
doing, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah, done. Go get high, y'all. I'm finna go get high.
All right. Enjoy your
All
sesh.
right.
Bye.
Be
All
cool,
right.
homeboy. My boy say go get high. He finna go get high.
So,
So
man,
let's
we got a
dig.
lot of comments, right?
Okay, let's get into it.
You had anything else you want to touch on before we get into about what
No,
Mr.
a lot
Torian?
of the comments are
Got
actually
some
going kind of.
jewels. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he dropped a lot
He
of them.
dropped some jewels.
He definitely could probably do a podcast himself. I'm gonna hit him up, let him know we'll help him out if he want to.
Hell yeah. So TJ Ron said legalize weed for first responders. I feel that. Yeah.
Why
Now
so, TJ?
honestly, I feel so I kind of understand that because first responders, you got a high stress level job, but that would take us, Frank, to whether or not their use would be coping or recreational. So
Right.
when
So
we
that's a
with
good
us just
question.
so let me ask you this: with us knowing what we know now, or we know more from talking to Torian, and we know that it's not necessarily detrimental to your health, it's not necessarily bad. Does it matter why people use it, be it recreational or coping? Does it really matter?
Well, from what Torian said, we don't know. We don't know what it is, but I don't think it matters because if it's helping, then go for it, like you always say. So I think the pros outweigh the cons because if it's a coping mechanism, that's fine. You know what I mean? Because you're coping, and that's
Yeah.
stopping the chain reaction of more and more problems. And if for recreational, you enjoying what you're doing, so why not continue doing it? So I
Yeah,
say
like a
yeah to it.
nightcap.
It's a
Okay.
nightcap. You know what I mean? I'm having my
So yeah,
nightcap right now.
I definitely, but you know what's crazy about certain jobs testing or not testing. I like recently found out maybe 5 years ago that teachers don't get drug tested, and I
Teachers
kind of
don't, cops
understand.
don't.
I kind of understand why, because look at the job they have to do. Look at how stressful. Like, and then too, if you start firing people that are like
They need
definitely
teachers. That's why. Yeah.
needed for society and to keep society going, and you testing them for, you know,
Right.
drugs and whatnot, and they got to leave for drugs, and them the only people applying for the jobs, then you know you got a problem on your hands.
Yeah. So they only not drug testing them for the sake of having employees.
Yeah,
It's already
maintaining
hard to get
workers.
teachers. Yeah,
Yeah,
maintaining employees.
they don't want that high turnaround. So
Yeah.
Sparkle said athletes that get caught with far worse, even if she's not moving forward with the Olympics. Fastest American woman is still an amazing title to have. That's true. She
Yeah.
still
The
set a
accolades, you
record.
can't take away the accolades from them.
Can't.
Yeah.
My
Even if they
aesthetics
do,
can't
it's
go.
still gonna be known that hey, she was the fastest woman in
Yep.
2021.
Oh, okay. So we were talking stocks and bonds for a little bit with Torian. Harvest Health and Rec is a good stock to look into. So
And that boy
I
Bradley
am
Avatar, that boy look like a rapper, baby. I'm talking about put him back up there. That boy look like got a little Atlanta rapper shit going on right there. Mississippi right there, y'all.
So honestly, like I said, I had touch bases maybe, I don't know if it was a year or so ago when I first myself getting into Robinhood, and I
Right.
asked Torian, I was like, yo, what should I invest in on Robinhood? You know, I'm putting like a little 100 here, 100 there, 50 here. And he told me, and it made all the sense in the world, you know, some of the things that they use to grow. It's like I have to go through it, but it's like a light bulb company that use
Okay,
specific
now that makes
bulbs and
sense.
stuff, fertilizer company to grow the weed and stuff like that. So I
Beyond the
definitely
actual weed company, things
right,
that it
like
needs to maintain.
that's
Now
put
that
into
makes sense. That makes a
stuff that's
lot
put
of sense.
into the industry, that's put into growing the product, the final product to sell. So
Right.
I was like, that makes so much sense. So
The
I looked into that.
functionality.
But Bradley, I'm definitely gonna look into Harvest Health and Rec. Hopefully their own Robinhood app. If they own Robinhood app, go on and put their little abbreviation up for me.
Walker say
He's
puff puff pass,
he's
baby.
the corporate thug. He is the corporate plug. Like he really know people that know people. I'm so
Yeah.
proud of him. I'm not even lying. Like every time I
He
see
been
him on my
doing
timeline,
that.
I be
He
happy
been
for
up there
him.
about
Legit.
probably about 5 or 6 years doing that. And
I be
like you
legit
say,
happy.
I know him, and I know where he came from to see where he is. That's seen a lot.
That's a
And
blessing.
like one time, RIP the Slug, man, they were both trying to get trying to figure it out and feel their way out. And he made it happen.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Can he list the name of lounges in Vegas? Sparks, we can definitely hit him up on the sidebar and see if we can get that
Oh, he
going.
liked to talk, Sparkle. He don't mind.
He'll give you
Don't worry
all the
about that
spots.
part. Yeah.
Torian Petty, when they legalize in Houston, I need your help to start up my shop. I know that's right. Y'all better get out and give
Man,
them,
PJ, get your policing ass on. You ain't opened up
and,
no weed shop.
and listen, I would pay him a consultation fee. He literally has the industry knowledge. And see, a lot of people don't know this. If you have a certain level of industry knowledge, you can
You
charge
can get
people
paid. That's
as a
right. Just
consultant.
right.
So, Torian, if you still on the listening, like, listen, I ain't saying charge an arm and leg because I'm sure you know you get the alumni discount, but at the end of the day, you
Right.
definitely
That go the
you can
nigga
get,
in you right there. You gonna get the alumni
you
discount. That go
know,
the
you
nigga
can
in
get,
you.
but he can charge for his intellectual property for
Nah, he
real.
definitely got a lot of knowledge, man.
Yeah. So let's see. Maisha, the need from more stems from the demons people fight. Yeah, the need for more. Yeah, that makes sense. Like when you're already indulging in something and you talk about or speak of gateway, for somebody to want to keep getting higher and higher and higher after initially being introduced to something, that definitely stems from something deep down, because a lot of people, like when I was partaking, it was easy for me to be like, oh, I'm good. You know what I'm
Well, that's a
saying?
personal problem. That's a personal issue.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with
I don't
weed.
need to
You're gonna,
be,
you're gonna venge on something. You know what I mean?
but a
Because you
person
got some
like me,
personal issues
I
going
mean,
on.
I got shit to do. I got to do something today. So let me go ahead and there you
Yeah.
go. So
Relax.
I
Yeah.
just knew to do that. They will lose out on money. Too many cures and uses for marijuana. That's
They were
true.
saying to right. Yeah.
I think Mississippi State had
He
a
was
lab.
talking about
Okay,
the 3
the
schools that got the
labstorian.
yeah.
Okay, my therapist suggested to smoke over being on prescribed anxiety medication. That makes sense because
That
it's
make a lot of
natural.
sense, and
It's
it's no
completely
side effects.
it's completely natural too.
Yeah,
And it probably like I just don't feel like it's like you said, if it's not an underlying need to get higher and higher there, you're literally gonna smoke and be like, okay, I'm good and going about your
I'm good.
life.
Yeah, what you gonna smoke again in a few hours because it's just what you do. Jay
Hmm.
Blind, say what up, player.
Okay, let's see. I'm just going through this. All right, BDP. Here's my thing. Rules are rules, but my thing is they don't make a big deal about men taking estrogen and breaking records in women's sports and kicking their ass. So he's talking about the whole transgender race.
That does not make sense. That you allow. Where's that boy at from the second show? What are you doing allowing a man to one running a woman's race because now he
Child.
is seen as a woman? I
That
don't
is
give a
a
damn. I don't
that's I mean,
understand it.
listen, but
I ain't
but you
trying to
know,
understand it.
so here's my thing. Okay, since this came up, this is a good point because a drug is a drug, right? Like if we're gonna get
And
on
a dick
people
is a
about
dick.
smoking
You
weed,
started with a dick.
and so I've been asked this before because anybody knows me knows I love my LGBTQ friends. I consider myself an ally, but as somebody who ran track for almost a decade, knows how much work is put into track, blood, sweat, tears, throw up on the track just to like lower your time by seconds. If I do all of that, or if an athlete does all of that and is that dedicated, and you put them on a field, a female athlete, and you put her on a field with somebody that was born biologically a man, I cannot beat a man. That is simply just not fair.
Well, what
Biologically, it's
you
not
could,
this is not even an opinion though, Frank. This is
yeah,
like biologically. As a
yeah,
man, most women, we can't fight, we can't beat y'all up, we can't outrace
that's
y'all. Now,
fine.
sometimes some men is slow, but
Yeah,
overall, we got the short end of the stick genetically to beat y'all. So I feel him on that, and I've always said when asked about that particular topic that I feel like they should have their own race.
they should. It
Transgender
should be just
women,
like Special Olympics. You should have a
transgender
trans race.
women, like I'm saying, and I feel like it's still inclusive. It's not excluding.
Right.
Like
You should have a
I'm
Special
dead
Olympics.
serious
Yeah, for
because
people with
you're
autism
not.
and trans
You
people.
know how pissed I would be if my child got into a sport and you put her out there with somebody born a boy and they like going ham on her, like dogging her
Okay,
out.
let me ask you
Hell
this
no.
though. What
Hell
happens
no. I'm
when the
talking.
women beat the trans? So now do you feel less than a woman because you are really a man that's
I
now
mean, like I said,
identifying
like
as a woman that are
I was
losing to real women?
I was the girl who was barefoot on the street racing boys. Some boys I beat, some boys I didn't beat. But I guarantee you, you put the fastest woman with the fastest man, that man is gonna win.
Gonna win. True. True, true,
Period.
true, true. True.
So I'm sorry I got off on a tangent, but
Yeah, I
you
seen
know,
that that was
he
another
had a good
emotional
point.
topic for you. Like you were
Yeah, I
really
was
into that. It's
because
almost like how you were
I
about the
used to
weed. I hadn't
man because
seen your cheeks go so high. I mean, I know you
you
got this new hairdo and you feeling yourself and shit, but you were so like you had the pearly cheeks.
no, I really do be happy when I see posts that's pro marijuana because I'm so for it. I like I said, I don't indulge anymore, but when I was in college, when I had super bad anxiety, those who don't know me bit my nails real bad. I stopped biting my nails when I got pregnant because I didn't want my baby getting stabbed up by nails in my stomach. I don't know. It was a weird thought. But
Right.
I have super duper bad like anxiety, not necessarily depression or anything like that. But even though I'm chill, I was explaining to Frank, I was like, I can be a little high strung because I'm OCD. I like stuff planned out. I can be very rigorous and mundane in my routine. So you throw the slight monkey wrench in my routine, I unravel. And so for people who are like me or kind of wired like that, we have really bad anxiety. And there has been times where we calm me and help me focus. I think the semester I smoked at Prairie View the most, I made Dean's List. I
Okay.
made straight A's and B's. So
Yeah.
yeah, you know, I just don't think it's
Bro,
just
you
not
a
a bad
show off,
thing.
bro. You a
I'm
show
not
off.
really.
You always on this show every Tuesday showing off.
I just feel like
From the
hell?
show out, the
And
demons
then too,
list.
and look, Frank. So this came up too, because whenever I talk about how for weed I am, people have asked, "Well, you have a child. How would you feel about your child smoking weed when she comes of age?" I don't care. It would not bother me.
Well, you know,
I
that was something
promise.
I was going to ask T. Petty.
It,
At what
it
age would he allow his kid to smoke
yeah, it would
during
not
the heat
bother
wave?
me. And people are gonna trip out when she comes of age and decides that that's what. Now, will I introduce her to it, force that on her? No. But
Yeah.
if she gets out into the world and discovers God's good plant and says,
Right.
"Mom, you know this," or if I walk up on it and smell it, I literally don't feel like I'm finna trip. I'm not about to send her to rehab, demonize her, condemn her to hell, none of that. Like
Just like my
it's
comment
not
about
crack,
Sha'Carri, like Sha'Carri Richardson is, it's not what you do, it's how you do it, right?
right?
So
If
it's
it's
not
not
what she
affecting you,
did. It's not what she did, it's how she did it. I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna say this, and I was pissing people off with this. She ain't just
okay.
started smoking weed, most likely, 9 times out of 10,
No.
because her mother
Mm-mm.
passed. She
Yeah, I don't
smoked
believe
weed.
that.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's
She
that's
smoked
her
weed.
that's her thing.
But it was a good, I mean, it was a good excuse though. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
dealing with that kind of trauma is a good excuse. But she smoked weed, like everybody else
yeah,
damn near in the world. She smoked
that's her
weed.
thing. Yeah, most
Yeah.
definitely. I
Every time
agree
I go
though.
to the doctor, they ask me like, "Do you smoke?" I say no. Like weed. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
no,
and you
no,
got to
man. Yeah,
answer.
they looking at you like, boy, stop lying.
Okay, Sean Murray, y'all better invest in these cannabis stocks because it will be legalized in the future. Very true, and I'm on it. The Olympics rules are outdated, and they don't want another situation like this happening again. I'm
That's true.
almost certain.
Definitely outdated.
I would not be surprised if in the next year or so, definitely before, because the Olympics is every 4 years, right?
4 years.
So I think that before the next Olympics, I would not be surprised if they reevaluated some of the
Well,
drug laws.
the
Uh,
problem is it's more than just America though. And
yeah,
you're dealing with the federal system. Like, they were having a big debate between the state law and federal
and
law.
federal law. That's true.
Some states have approved the use of recreational weed, but the federal law doesn't follow that constitution. They don't follow that
Mhm.
statute.
Right.
So
That's true.
it's a problem.
That's
So
true.
it's gonna be a while before everybody get on the same page.
Yeah, that's true. So this is just a bunch of comments. Everybody was hyping Torian up. Yeah, he was a good guest,
He's
man.
dropping jewels.
That young man is going places.
Yes, indeed. Them boots is made for
Yeah,
walking.
I know that's right. You better
Yeah.
inspire. But yeah, man. So let me see. I'm gonna get to some of these other yes, a Special Olympic. Yes. Yes, friend. Let me see. So
Hey,
would it
where's
be
Ricky today? Like, where's the
Ricky? Well, so we have a lot of people on here that says Facebook user. I don't know why, but for whatever reason, and we could always go back and see who you guys are because I like to give people their props for tuning in. But I just noticed that with the group page for On the Cool, it always just show Facebook users. So if Ricky is here, I wouldn't be surprised if he's sprinkled up in here somewhere. I
Yeah,
wouldn't be
he
surprised.
normally shows himself though.
So somebody had a question about what we just talked about, Frank. So would it be trans men and trans women face each other? No.
No,
No.
I think you would have to
Because that still is not
choose.
even. That still is not
No,
even playing
no. You
ground.
have if you choose to identify and be a woman, you need to run with other trans women.
Insane.
So it
Yep. If
almost
you're a
would be like
trans man,
women and run against men. Yeah,
do y'all remember? Do you all remember the trans MMA fighter? I do.
I
I
don't.
do, and I didn't agree. If you're talking about the trans woman that was fighting a woman, and I cannot think of her name. I just know she looks scary as hell. I wouldn't fight her. Like that's something I'm going to get my gun for. But I
Get the
I
strap.
didn't think I even then I didn't agree with it. I don't like I said, if you put the best MMA fighter, the best female MMA fighter up against the best male MMA fighter, the male is gonna win. Track the
So
same.
Fallon Fox is
Tennis the
American
same.
retired mixed martial art
Yeah, that's
first
probably
openly transgender woman.
that was not
This
fair.
is shit getting confusing, man. Just I don't
It
know. Be a
wasn't
boy
fair.
or a girl.
It wasn't fair.
Okay.
So let me see. Crack the opposing natural born woman skull. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. So Maisha also has something to say, piggybacking off of what I said with anxiety. Exactly, Kim. My anxiety is terrible. Well,
Right.
it's gotten better because it took me a long time to even figure out why I did what I did. Cause I even looked like, I'm a person, I don't mind researching stuff, but my condition, because I feel like everybody got a
My grandma used to
condition.
say she got a condition. Yeah.
My condition was called pica. And so pica was when you bite your nails, you bite the skin around your nails. I'm talking about for a long time, my hands was
Is
toe
it
up.
bleeding?
That was literally like, Frank, I'm about to be really transparent. It was literally the only thing people could rank on me about for a long time. Like one of my old homeboys, we was roasting each other and
No.
he said, it
I'll
looked like you
find
took
something to rank on you about.
yeah, like we was roasting each other, and my homeboy was like, "Man, it looked like you took your hand and put it in the pot and went like that." And it,
Yeah.
because my
And
fingers was like real pink. They still kind of
that
like that.
that hurt it
But
forever. I see you still remember the
yeah,
joke.
I was like, because what I'm gonna say back, it was true. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
But
right, right.
at the
So
end of the day, it was a nervous condition.
you just
I
needed a
noticed.
man to feed you. You just needed a good man to
No,
feed you.
I had a man, I had company, I had all of that, and at the end of the day, go. And at the end of the day, I figured out that it was brought on by my anxiety. Again, I'm a planner. I don't like the smallest of monkey wrenches. I don't like the smallest of curveballs. And
Right,
so when
right,
I
right.
was, just and like I said, once I figured out what was going on with my anxiety, and then once I, back in the gap, implemented weed into my day to day, I noticed my
Get you to
nails
relax
started
a little
growing.
bit. Yeah.
The triggers was gone. I was like, if one thing went bad, it didn't make my whole day crumble.
Ruin
And
the whole day. Right, right, right.
yeah, and it just made things a lot smoother. I didn't want to get put on no medication. I'm not going to get on medication for that. And me, I'm also a person, I don't like taking a lot of medication because I do consider myself to like having control of myself. So
Yeah.
it just
Well,
is what it is, man.
we had a pretty good show, man. Torian did his thing.
He
He
did. He
definitely came and
did.
gave us a bunch of knowledge way past the Sha'Carri thing. He gave us a whole weed 101. Look,
Tony said, "Sound like you
that
just
boy
stayed hungry, babe." I
that boy
wasn't
Weaver said the
hungry.
same thing. You need a good man to feed you. They
I
got
wasn't
Weaver.
hungry. I was going through it, sweetheart. I was stressed and didn't even realize it. That's the thing. Anxiety, a lot of time you don't even know you have it. You just have these habits and you don't know where they come from. So yeah.
So
Somebody say
somebody,
you smoke weed. No,
I don't
I
smoke
have
weed.
I have
I
a
can't afford it.
job. I have a job. I cannot smoke weed.
Next person says, now let's all roll up. We should have an internet pass session in this
Right,
motherfucker.
we could have. But yeah, man, that's all I got, man. We covered Sha'Carri, we covered
The
just certain
actual
things. The
about the smoke.
actual Yeah, man, I feel like we definitely talked about why people demonize it, why the lack of progressiveness. My whole reason for that, I just really feel like people do it that can't make money. Political wise, politicians speaking.
And outside of money, I
They
think it's
just can't make
just
money yet, depending on what state they in. They figuring
yeah.
it out. As soon as it's taxable, as soon as they can implement it as a source of income to fund the state, whatever, it's gonna be
Yeah.
legalized.
But I think
It's
that's on the state level, but on a personal level, I think people been pounding in your head so long that weeds this, weeds that, all the
yeah.
negative aspects of weed that people just not changing. But that's changing too because more and more younger people at a younger age are starting to smoke weed and see that it's
It's
not the
actually,
reason.
you
It's
know
not.
what? I
Go ahead.
read you said younger. I read a study that said the fastest growing number of weed smokers are the newly retired.
Right.
New weed smokers, like they're the fastest growing number of new weed
Well,
smokers.
that makes sense because they smoke weed when you could smoke weed before the drug test. A lot of
Right.
these people stop smoking weed so they can go work in these places, and then so when
Mhm.
you get to the retirement age, just like now, I can kind of let my hair
Absolutely.
relax. They don't pinch
Hmm.
test on Social Security when you get your retirement
Absolutely.
or disability, whatever the case may be. So that
Um,
make a lot of sense. That makes sense
a,
because
a coworker of mine actually told me, and I let them talk about that kind of stuff because I can't talk about that kind of stuff. But when they
yeah,
get to talking about it, I'll listen, and be like, yeah, do you smoke it?
yeah,
No, I don't, not ever. I don't
right,
even know what
no,
that is.
right.
But
They know you smoke
yeah.
weed with them blonde highlights. Yeah, you just smoke weed in the day. That's right.
But But he told me, he said somebody that recently retired who was an exec, he asked specifically for everybody coming to his retirement party to bring him some weed.
Damn.
So they're the highest number, the fastest growing number of weed smokers.
And the
So, and
police was
these
there when they got there. They all got some.
not these people, not with their money. They got away with it and had a funky good time. So,
Yeah.
I just think people, you know, I'm not. I said this
You
in
know what? I
prior
should ask Torin
episodes.
about vaping. You know, I want to know about. I should ask him about vaping. Is vaping? You
If
know, how
it's
does he feel about vaping?
if okay, so now this I may know a little bit about. Vaping, you have the you can make the weed extract and it's still weed. Like I say, weed comes in different forms. You got butter that
But
you
it's
can make
still the
edibles
weed.
from.
Yeah.
It's still weed. So if you're vaping and it's nicotine, of course it's bad. That's just like smoking a cigarette. If you're doing hookah, and I love hookahs, hookah's nicotine, it's bad as far
Right.
as being like chemicals and stuff being dragged into your lung. But if it's weed, if it's the I don't even know if I'm saying it right. I'm gonna just say extract, but I'm sure somebody's gonna come in and give me, because I know it's a correct term. I've heard it before. But if it's just extract from weed, then no, it's just like you smoking a joint, but it's a pure form, and you really don't have to hit it that many times because it's so pure. So
Okay.
that's what I've got. The feedback I've gotten in the past from vaping from weed. So it depends, because vaping is just the form of how you smoke it.
Yeah.
It ain't necessarily all gonna be nicotine or all gonna be weed. So what vaping are you talking about when you say is vaping bad?
Shit, I don't
See,
know.
Tori, and here we go. Expert concentrates. It's a concentrate. The expert has spoken.
Yeah. Before they got high and came back. We really appreciate you, boy.
Yeah, man. Yeah. We're gonna have to kick him, send him a gift card or something.
No
But
bullshit.
yeah, man. But yeah, I really do, you know, like, and I'm gonna speak personally. Like my mother, she's not, my mother is very by the book. She do stuff by the book. She don't partake in none of that. But just certain discussions that I feel like have been had, because it's, just we have family members that partake in it. They're still doing what they're supposed to be doing, being productive. Other people we've known of have, and I just feel like the conversation about it with her now is a lot more
It's a little
lax.
different, right?
It
And you
because
grown and you productive yourself. So
and
it's whatever.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and back in the day, she caught me with like an ounce before, like, not no a QP,
Well, you was a drug
back in the,
dealer. Oh yeah, you
no,
was
she
a
caught
drug
me with a
dealer.
QP in college. So
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's just
That's why
she
they
saw
call you Nino.
how. No, that
You
was
was a
it.
drug.
It
You
was
was a
personal.
drug dealer.
The QP was for personal use. It was all for me. But yeah, man, she saw how it turned out and she was not happy about it. I definitely got reprimanded for it. She flushed it all. I was very upset about it. A lot of money gone. But
Flushed them.
yeah,
Heard?
she flushed it all. She flushed it.
That was $100 back then. hundred
Yeah, it
dollar
was
cutie. It's a
a
$100
hundred
cutie.
a
Hey
hundred
man,
dollars.
we really
But
appreciate everybody,
mhm,
especially Tori and Petty, for coming on and talking his talk today.
mhm.
Everybody in the comments for giving good feedback, throwing good
Yeah.
questions. And definitely shout out to you, Nino, for smiling for the last 1 hour. And fucking, you were
Because
smiling before we even got on
this is a
live. Like,
discussion we had to have. I love it.
right.
I'm kind of mad we didn't do it like on 420, but this wasn't even like
Oh
a
yeah,
thing.
we'll definitely come back
This would have
around,
been like
man.
a perfect 420 episode,
Yeah,
but
we'll definitely come
it
back
is
around.
what it
We'll do more people. Maybe we can do something face to face. You
is.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
He'll come in town. We'll get him a ticket. So
Weed is good, crack is whack still.
they let Whitney Houston sing at the Super Bowl, but they don't want to let
Crack is
Sha'Carri run in the
right.
Lakers.
Crack is whack still. R.I.P. Whitney. But
Be
yeah,
good.
man. Y'all be easy. Thank y'all for tuning in, and we will see y'all next week on the Cool.